Welcome back. I'm Arthur Perkins. This is APGamingREAL. Welcome to New Game Plus Episode 2. First off, I want to say thank you to you, the fans, because this is the second best launch I've ever had for a show. And the first best one literally had like a major gaming company publishing our shit for us.
Which one was that?
When I did Mistborn, we had like thousands of views in the first week. Because we had Gamerati like, hey guys, look at this great stream.
Yeah, nice. Well,
Look,
I mean, that just proves the power of the manly beard companions. You know what I'm
I'd
saying?
like to think it's, the basically just me, the unique opportunity I presented, the growing fan base. Sure, I guess you guys were a part of this stream, idiots. Oh, I forgot. You guys don't watch anime as much as my other crews. You might not get that one. All right. Look, we got some administration to do before the stream. First off, if you're watching live, you're screwed. You have to keep listening to us talk for the next few minutes. If you're watching on YouTube, look in the description section. There's a button that says skip introductions. Click on that, and you will jump to the point where we're done introductions. On this and every future show, you'll be able to do this magic. Of course, if you've already clicked it, then you aren't still listening to me, and I don't need to explain it anymore. Second, I wanted to thank the following people for making the stream possible. Of course, these wonderful cast members for fucking up and agreeing to join this show. Second, the music on this show has been provided by Tabletop Audio and Drumurboy, who, interestingly enough, is on this show. The overlay was done in collaboration between Askren and Raddosaurus, and the character art was done by Raddosaurus and Cottontailed. You might notice we have some new pieces in the art reel, including Grim and Henley. Oh, look, they literally just showed up as I said it.
Just showed up.
Yeah, and you know what's great is that's on random, so we just got that lucky. Oh, and Cotton's in the audience too. Fine! We're done with administration stuff. Now we're back to the part where we say hello. Today will be remembered as a day where we first tested the presidential text messaging system, and it was annoying as fuck.
Yeah.
Wait, on a scale from 1 to child being stolen, where is it?
It's pretty much child being stolen. There's a maximum volume, enormous buzzing noise, like 3 times in a row, then it stops, and 3 times in a row, like 8 times continuously, and the phone vibrates.
Okay, what did he say?
It was just saying this was a test.
Yeah.
It's the one of those that you cannot opt out of. You can opt out of the Amber Alerts and the weather stuff, but the presidential whatever. It's like, oh, there's missiles incoming or you're being invaded, whatever. They test it like every 6 months or whatever.
Why didn't he use his first one to promote his Twitter?
Because that's illegal.
Not the one hitting the button.
Because I was literally
had to auto
I was in the middle of a phone conference with people in Germany, and all of us that were sitting in the conference room, all of our shit went off at the same time, and everyone in Germany was like, what is going on? We're like, don't worry about it. Just don't even.
Sorry, the president's calling us, Germany. We gotta go.
The president was putting out a missing persons alert because he hasn't seen his wife Melania in months. So that's all.
Oh boy!
Why are all your phones yelling "Cafefe"?
Wow, we went so far past where I wanted to be on this.
Like, I do not have a mushroom dick. My dick is quite big.
All right, let's move on.
The new season of anime has started. It's not all terrible.
Is that Sword Art Online?
No, fuck you. It's not Sword Art Online. I would never include Sword Art Online as part. Well, maybe Sword Art Online Gun Gale Online Alternative, but only because its title is so ridiculously long.
I'm looking it up.
You haven't seen Gun Gale Online Alternative? It's done by a different author and a different studio, and it's about Battle Royale, and it was written before Battle Royale became a thing. And now that the anime came out,
was a thing when I was working at ModDB. So
okay, right, all right. Fortnite and the Arma and all of the other battle royales, PUBG. It was written before PUBG brought it back, y'all.
I think that the first Battle Royale was really the Great Purge.
Oh my god.
The first Battle Royale was Battle Royale. by on by that Japanese movie.
I literally I don't even.
Does that predate 1938 or?
When does Battle Royale come out? The movie.
Okay, I'm gonna finish off my intro here by thanking everyone
2000.
for showing up again. And also, if for some reason you wanted to tournament yourself with more Henley, he was on BattleTech last week, and he'll be on BattleTech again this week, playing Hans Strassman, who is a villain that the players must convince to let them join the evil Company of Free Men. You're racist, ultra-nationalist, super conservative,
I love
basically
that everyone
literally
hated the
Nazis.
I love the fact that everyone was kind of annoyed at the fact that I didn't agree to have them join me at their first iteration with me.
Yeah. I mean,
times.
that's of course, you should always immediately agree to anything anyone approaches you with if they're main characters.
Yep. Oh yeah, no, 100%. The world revolves around them. So.
All right, speaking of people the world revolves around, Henley, let's go ahead and do your intro. Wow, that was some slow burn there, but okay, I'll take it. I'll take it.
So,
Amazing.
hey everyone, thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed this last week's episode because we had a lot of fun doing it. But my name is Dave, ex full-time streamer, full-time lovemaker, and yeah, excited to be here. I don't know what to promote now. Go check out the YouTube for all my archived D&D stuff. I really don't have the time these days to set up and run new games, so it is an absolute pleasure for me to come on and do these things on other people's channels. And Arthur's a good dude, but I'm sure you all know that because you're already here. But yeah, ready to play.
Speaking of someone who's ready to play, oh my god, cat. Really? Speaking of someone who owns a cat, I was actually going to go ahead and jump to Atomikspoon, but now we even have a cat intro. Come over here. Come over here. Atomikspoon, what do you got going on? I'm going to turn my mic off while I attract this cat.
I'm sure my cat will show up at some point. How's it going, everybody? I stream some Warcraft on Tuesdays and Thursdays and other miscellaneous bullshit in between, and I guess I'm on this show until AP gets rid of me. That's all I got. Pretty boring.
I don't know that I've ever gotten rid of a cast member and still had the show go on. I've thought about it several times. Mostly on shows that Dave's on.
No, the show has gone on when cast changes before.
No, but I've never been like, I've never, not given the rose, right? I've never been like, you must leave the show now.
Okay,
People have left shows and they've continued, but I've never been like, get the fuck off of my show.
You've received no points.
It's
May God have
only-
mercy on your soul. Get out.
It's only episode 2, man.
That's, wow, that is a dark way of looking at it, but okay.
And you know what the best part is, Arthur? You can't just kill a character in this show.
Oh yeah, because we come back. Round 2, motherfucker.
That's what you think. I like how you're like, that's right, we could taunt the GM. The GM doesn't have ultimate power to decide what happens. Oh, wait.
No.
Speaking of someone with the ultimate power to decide what happens on their next song, let's cut to Drumurboy.
Except for I don't. I'm mostly beholden to people who commission me.
That is technically true.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm Drumurboy. I make music and stuff. Roll20's music guy. Roleplay's a new music guy. I've got my first solo product for Nerd or Die coming out either today or sometime this week. It's robot voices. So if you want robot voices on your stream, you can buy some for $5. And then I'm streaming through the Thief series on the weekends, which I just started the Thief reboot this previous Sunday. It's a thing.
I drop in sometimes to watch that stuff. I lurk, though. I lurk on everybody's stream now.
That's fine. Most of my viewers are lurkers.
sometimes I'm watching Cal and I say something and she's like, "Oh, welcome to the stream," and I'm like, "Actually, I've been here for like 5 hours. I just finally decided to say something."
No, I mean that's the correct way to welcome someone, even if you, because streamers know when someone shows up in their stream that they know. They just know.
Not really. Never me. I'm completely blind to that.
My thing shows up when you show up, even if you don't say anything.
My God, what the hell? Are you fucking stalking me, Henley?
No, we're friends on Twitch, so it shows
Oh,
up.
well,
when
I'm
you
not
show
friends on
up.
Twitch with many people, so.
Oh, I turned that shit off. Like,
Yeah. Are you fucking stalking me, Henley?
Fuck yeah, dude. How do you think I managed to get this game together with you? Like, Jesus
It
Christ.
went something like this. Well, Dave, look, it's not working out. Some guy can only make Saturdays. Some guy can only make Thursdays. And you were like, "Arthur, I'm going to go find 3 other guys and come back to you." And I was like, "Well, I literally can't find anyone, so I'll take a long shot, Dave. If I can't find anything else, I'll let you set it up." I woke up the next morning and Dave was like, "I got 4 motherfuckers ready to play. They've all got characters made, names chosen, and they've picked what they want their character to look like." And I was like, Jesus Christ, I need some coffee.
Look, man, when I want to play a game, I play a game, okay? Jesus.
Yeah, that's true. You do play games.
Dave gets shit done.
I've got 16 players. They're all me, but it doesn't matter.
What?
That actually sounds like it'd be an interesting show.
Right, you know who that is? That's literally Sawfang's shows.
I was actually going to say that sounds like a Koibu show.
No, that's 100%. Sawfang literally plays by himself and has people in the chat play, like, tell them what the characters are doing. I've watched some of those streams. They are fucking weird. I'm not gonna lie. They are some weird streams, but yeah.
It's one character,
Also,
but he has multiple personality disorder.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like
he's
Split
writing
the movie, except for D&D.
in character at fights with himself. Yeah, that sort of stuff.
Oh, man.
All right. Spootnik.
Yes.
Look, see, here's the thing. I'm pretty sure I updated your Twitter on the overlay, but the problem is that in this text thing, the underscore is actually an equal sign, and I kept being like, this can't be right. Fuck. So I had to make it a dash, but it should be an underscore, y'all.
That's an underscore, but it's okay. No one follows me on Twitter anyway. It's fine.
I do.
People say that shit, but then some people watch the show and actually follow the cast on Twitter, and then notice they never tweet ever.
Well, let me see. I'm going to check how many followers I have. How do I do that? I have 68 followers on Twitter.
Damn.
So, I mean,
I think I'm nearly at 4,000.
I'm pretty hot shit. Pretty hot shit.
Damn.
So that's what I do. I'm a Twitter mastermind. Period.
I have 3,300.
Fuck you.
So, not that much different.
I used to have that many, but then I found out that one of my friends was Russian botting me using his corporate. Yeah. So he was a social media manager that had like a corporate contract and was having all of his bots follow me.
Jesus
Then that shit got caught, and I dropped down to like 300 followers. And I was like, the day it happened, I was like, oh my God, what happened? I lost like 90% of my viewership. And he was like, no, that's cool. It was just me losing all my bots. And I was like, oh my God, I never had thousands of followers. There was just only 300 people. It was rough. It was a rough day for me, but I got through it.
I'm notoriously bad at Twitter. Like, I don't, like...
Twitter's on the out, man. I don't know what's going to replace it, but, like, Twitter is on the out. No one uses it for Twitch anymore.
Google twat.
Let it burn.
Nope.
So,
Instagram is the new Twitter.
Is it?
No. There's nothing will be the new Twitter.
I have a lot of Instagram followers.
My cat has a lot of Instagram followers.
Like 125.
I see.
That's actually a lot.
Posting pictures of your cat. Right?
No, I don't. My cat doesn't have an Instagram. But Kelsa does have one for her dog.
I have seen that.
As does Eric Vulgaris for his dog.
I used to have one for my dog, but then I just got tired of uploading shit and putting hashtags on shit. And
Yeah,
Like-
Atomikspoon. I was gonna say something like, "Man, what a bunch of fucking weirdos that have Instagram accounts for their pets." But then you indicated you were one of those people, so I'll keep silent.
Dude, I'll call myself a fucking weirdo. I only started doing it because a friend of mine was doing it. I'm like, fuck it, why not? People are like, oh, I want to see more of your cat, because my cat has a perpetual. It's like resting bitch face, except it's like I'm gonna murder the shit out of you.
Oh, it's like
yeah.
Grouchy Cat.
If your pet is either handsome or has like the worst fucking goof face, you'll do fine on Instagram. Like as long as you can consistently upload and not be lazy like me.
Yeah, I'm a lazy piece of shit.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Well, I guess the only major thing that's changed on my Discord is that yesterday Zircon5 was like, we should make a music channel. And I had just made a game channel so I could talk about Fate Grand Order all the time and pretend anyone gave a shit. So I thought I'd throw him a bone and make a music channel, and it immediately became the most popular channel on my entire server for the whole month, including last month. So if you want to see people talk about music, I was like, shit, yeah, I'm gonna put all the music that I post in there, anime OPs, EDs, and OSTs. And then Drumurboy and Zircon5 were like, I have some classic old school jazz with metal fusion, rock orchestra, rap remix. And I'm like, what the fuck? They're so goddamn cultured. I don't understand what's happening.
Stem the tide of anime bullshit music.
People are actually talking about not shitty things in the channel, and I not only am I shocked, but I'm horrified because now I'm behind on the times.
I mean, you've been listening to anime bullshit for the past couple of years. It's fine.
Yeah, and that's all I'm going to continue to listen to. Anybody got general topics to talk about before we move on to that part where we play the game?
Not really.
All right.
Not really.
I'm good.
I just want to play role-playing games.
All right. Then I guess all I have left to do is just test and make sure people can see the dice now on stream. Does anyone remember what happened on the last episode of this show?
I got gored.
That's true, you did.
He got gored. We met up in a town, and we met up with was an alchemist, herbalist, whatever. We had some polite conversation, had some nice drinks, had to try to get him to ignore Kelly because he was being him. And then we made our way to a town and met a guy named York, whatever.
Rorik?
That guy.
Rorik.
I think, yeah.
Yep.
Henley dueled, and we had an encounter with the innkeeper, mayor. I couldn't understand that. It was just
I didn't understand it either.
I kicked his ass.
But and she threw everybody out but the dwarf, and then we met our separate ways. Somebody tried to sell Finley some oxen. Was it oxen? And then
They wanted me to buy a stake in the farm, and then God hated me and killed my power.
That, and then we met up with
I
Rorik,
wasn't
and
give any money though.
we started on a quest to go rescue a
A
maiden
girl,
from
right?
kobolds. Yeah.
Do we know
From the
whose-
black kobolds.
do we know whose child it is?
Yes, it is a child of the blacksmith, and the blacksmith is named Durek Hale.
Okay. And we were going after the black kobold.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
I think that covers everything.
Oh, we also learned about how the Dragonborn are born. That was fun.
Yeah, where
Yeah.
kobolds present sacrifices of human beings. They move all the internal organs in the stomach to the sides in order to make a warm nest, and then dragons lay their eggs inside of it. Yeah. Dragonborn
That's
birth
next
is...
level fetish shit right there.
Yeah, I know. All right, so we cut to the sun setting in the distance as your party, including Rorik, stops at the top of a hill overlooking the forest. You can see the forest is less than a few miles away. Rorik says, let's stop here. We've been traveling for hours, and from what I heard of your own tale, you haven't rested since this morning.
Are you tired because of all the metal you're wearing?
No, I will actually continue on by myself. The green kobold's den is deep into the forest.
So you don't want to hang out?
There's a girl's life at stake, but I suppose I could stop and talk for a little while.
Sweet. Do you like wine?
I do, but I don't feel that drinking wine before entering the western forest is a good idea.
So the reason I sit down and pull out my wine skin,
I think it's appropriate that we at least have a drink together before you might die.
So he shrugs off his enormous backpack covered in stuff and pulls out a small wooden stool that he sits down on. I will have...
Shit, I really should. That's amazing. Why didn't I bring my own stool?
I like old stools like that.
Yes, well, I feel like I must be prepared for multiple day travels. I am the one who protects everyone on the trip between Flemia and Bondarok, after all.
You should always be prepared to sit.
It's actually pretty. I've worn. Pretty sure I've worn playmail before. It is very hard to get up, kind of like a turtle, a little bit.
Yes, I've customized my plate mail in order for it to be easier to remove and put on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I like, take a swig of this wine flask and I hand it to him. I actually have a wine flask out there in case you were wondering.
Yeah, I wasn't wondering. I mean, I could check it out if I wanted to, but no, I assume that you've got one, and he'll take a large swig and then hang it back to you and says, that's an interesting flavor. Don't know that I've tasted it before.
I sort of quizzically lift a single eyebrow and say,
"There's other flavors of wine."
You have a long journey ahead of you, Kelly. A long
Kelly.
journey indeed.
With an E. Why do people keep calling me that?
Right. Look, Daka, Agrim, you're both forestry types, right? You seem like you have some good set of skills.
We spent a lot of time in the wilds.
I don't suppose you could bring us back what we need in order to get a fire started.
I'm sure we could make do.
All right. Several minutes later, you've got a small fire pit going, and Rorik has brought out his camping kit, which includes a nice stand for a frying pan, which he has, a cast iron one.
oh, so he's like me. He has cooking utensils and shit.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
So he's pouring in some bacon grease and then starting to cook up some chicken. If you wanted to push yourselves, I suppose you could try to make it to the Black Kobold's Den tonight.
I feel great.
What do you reckon's the distance of that there kobold's den?
Well, at the pace we were going, I'd say it's about 3 hours away, southwest. Follow the edge of the forest and continue southerly.
That's quite easy.
That's why I'm sending you all to that one. Black kobolds are weak, cowardly, They have to continuously replenish their numbers, as every time they offer a sacrifice to the black worm, they're wiped out completely. They don't realize that it has no love for them. And yet, bound by whatever covenant or faith the kobolds have, they have no choice but to serve it. And so they continue to bring it sacrifices.
So we know where the dragon children or whatever come from.
Yes.
Where do the kobolds come from then?
I honestly don't know.
Continuously wiped out.
Oh, I can answer this question very easily. They come from the mud. They just sort of rise up.
I actually have heard that. I've heard from several learned scholars in the capital that kobolds spontaneously manifest around dragons. Like mushrooms.
Yeah, they come out of like these, like they just sort of like make a big mud puddle and they just sort of like, you know?
Yeah, Rorik is nodding along as if this makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Well, that's gross. Oh, all right. I mean, I'm not adverse to heading out towards the Black Kobold's camp. The cover of night might provide us with an advantage.
Can I tell you a war story that I'm pretty sure I heard once?
Yes, but before you do that, I want to compound on something that I'm sorry, your name is Finley, correct?
That's right.
Finley. While the cover of night might provide some surprise, you should be aware that you're the only person here who can't see in the dark.
Well, sure, but
That includes the kobolds. They too can see in the dark.
Wait, you can see in the dark?
Yes.
Ow.
I have several talismans about me. While I may have lost my power, I was once a knight of small renown.
Fourth level, right?
Perhaps my power now might be equivalent to a 4th level knight, but no. Once I was far beyond that.
You do say that the kobolds might come up from the mud. Do they have a kind of smell?
Yes.
Feces.
Right. So, I mean, I might be able to know where they are by their smell.
I had no idea.
As long as I stay downwind from them.
I see.
I want to give Finley my bullseye lantern
Okay.
No.
that I bought last session. So you have
Nice.
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's like a thin, like projects like a thin
Beam, yeah.
light. Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
All right. Oh well. Thank you for the gift. I quite appreciate it. You know, I have trouble seeing at night.
Well, I mean, anything to help us complete our objective. I ain't got a problem with it.
So
There-
anyway, my war story. It's very important. Very relevant to this situation, actually.
Rorik
Is
puts
it
his hands
so?
on his knees and just settles in.
So I was raiding with a couple of my orc companions, as you know, being a half orc and all that. And you know, we were going into battle, and everyone was very eager, so eager that we had this one guy. I don't remember his name because you know he's dead now, and we don't generally remember the dead too fondly because they're weak. But anyway, he went into battle without eating because he was nervous, as the weak ones tend to say. He goes into battle, and we're sneaking up on the enemy, or about to get the drop on them. And the thing that gives us away is the gurgle of that boy's stomach. So preparation and rest before going into battle is very important. Otherwise, your stomach will gurgle and give us away.
Yes, that's definitely true.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are two things you should know before you travel onward. The first is that when you meet with the kobolds, they will probably attempt to stop you. Of course, they have no reason to allow you to invade their homes looking for the girl. You'll have to negotiate your way in, almost certainly. Now, we haven't mentioned it directly, and it seems your memories still have not yet returned, but the name of the black worm is Bloodality. I may try to get
That's
you...
a very strong name.
Well,
They may try to trick you into saying the name. Whatever you do, do not fall prey to this, or
what
the
happens
kobolds
if we
will
say the
attack
name?
you. For kobolds, a dragon is a god, and to name it would be blasphemous.
You said blackworm?
Bloodality. Yes, the black dragon is...
So
Oh,
can we say
The black-
Dality?
the
Can we
black
say-
worm. You'd be safer just to say the black worm.
Hmm.
Or nothing at all.
Okay. I can do nothing. That works.
You seem like someone who is very good at doing nothing.
I don't know if I should take offense to that.
I think he pulls out like some trail ration-y kind of like meat mixed with various liver pastes and takes a bite and then hands you.
Wasn't he cooking chicken?
He is, but he's like giving you some like jerky liver.
Oh, yeah. Say, nice. I'll take some. Yeah. Do we still have any of that boar meat left?
I
take some of that
believe you
ourselves?
sold it all to the innkeeper.
Yeah, we still have like teeth and valuable stuff. But
Yes, you. I
Right,
believe
okay.
you have 6 gold pieces worth of.
I did wrap
esoteric
up some
component.
meatloaf and bring it with me.
That's true. You were still there.
I will share the meatloaf.
So when you begin handing out the meatloaf, Rorik kind of smiles faintly and says, "Now, you can't blame it all on me, because I wasn't there for the full conversation, but I suspect that you upset Liliana. However, it is my fault that you arrived.
She's very easy to upset.
I didn't seem to have a problem.
Arriving in my company might have predisposed her against you. For that, I apologize."
What does that mean?
It's all right. We can win it back.
Perhaps. You were not me, after all.
I'm sure I might be able to convince her that you guys aren't too bad.
I mean,
Apparently,
I'm okay with her not caring.
apparently, I
guess.
worship the devil, and she's not a fan.
Do you? That's weird. Why do you do that?
No,
I think he's just misunderstood. I think that's what happened.
Was it something in your like younger years that you decided to do,
I'll like
and now you
take-
can't back
take
out
that-
of it?
I'll like flip back the cloak. I'm like, people tend to judge. Like point at the.
You're literally talking to
Oh.
an half-orc, and you're like complaining about people judging you.
No, they
I would-
assume that I worship the devil because I have horns. Just like people
I would-
assume you're stupid because you're big.
I'm
Where I mean,
no.
you know what? I ain't gonna say it. No, never mind. No, I'll eat meatloaf.
If I'm bigger, it means I have more room for brain. Okay, that's all that means.
I don't.
I'm not
think-
sure that's how that works.
I'm gonna agree with the. I'm gonna agree with the halfling.
Are you saying that a dragon isn't smart? Is that what you're saying? Because I tend to think that dragons tend to be smart because they have more brain room.
I mean, ogres are pretty stupid.
Trolls are quite dumb.
They only have one eye, though.
What?
That's Cyclops's.
Cyclops has the one eye.
As much as you all might believe ogres and trolls to be dumb, you would be surprised what they can come up with in the heat of the moment.
See, the guy in metal believes the brain room.
So he starts handing out the now finished frying chicken, and begins like cooling the pan down with a little bit of water, and says, "I'll be leaving in just a bit. I head out to Putra Worms. Sorry, that's not his name. Future Withers.
He named himself that.
The green dragon, Putra Wither.
Sounds like an asshole.
We have an
Yeah.
understanding.
What do you mean, understand?
Not all of the kobolds are as orthodox as the others, and like I said, we all have to live in this land. Every few years, we have to clean them out when they get too aggressive and reckless, but in the other times, throwing them a bone here and there helps keep them happy, keeps them from raiding the town, stealing young men and women, that kind of thing. Keeps the trade caravans moving, harvest untouched, no fields burning.
I get you. I'm picking up what you're throwing down there.
Well, I'm gonna set out then. He hefts his giant backpack set. As he turns to stand in the shadowy light of the campfire, he looks the most heroic possible, like a gritty action hero preparing to set out.
All right. I sort of like lean into like, who would be sitting next to me? Give just anyone.
I'll do
I
that.
guess. And you know what? I lean into Finley. And I'm just like,
Do humans always do that? Are they always like try and be cool?
Well, being cool is quite important for humans. It's part of their status symbols.
Right.
He wants us to revere him. I don't see why we shouldn't. He seems to know what he's talking about, right?
as he's walking away, I'm just like,
Thanks for the chicken.
You're
Quite
welcome.
delicious.
Good luck, Robert. Don't get shanked in the knees.
So,
If I don't return, don't come after me.
Okay.
I had no intention, but good luck, all shame.
all right.
If I see a kobold wearing your armor later on, I'll be sure to kill him.
Just imagine a kobold wearing it.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's like a house. It's like, oh, look, I have an apartment now.
7 kobolds in an armor suit.
It's like the drunk guy at the Christmas party with like the lampshade on his head.
It's like 7 kobolds stacked on top of each other, and they're trying to sneak their way into a party in a full like knight set of armor.
Hello, fellow knights. It is me,
Hello.
Kobold Knight.
So, should we head towards the black kobold camp or wait till morning? Don't take into consideration the fact that I can't see at night. It's fine. I can work my way around.
Now, I'm just going off what I feel, but we already got camp set up. We got food, decent food,
Mm-hmm.
get a little bit of rest, and then we can make our push on. Finley be able to see, and then we can, take care of business. There you go.
Generally,
That's
the best time to attack people is in the morning. Generally,
Attack from the east, so the rising sun's in their eyes.
We are on
well,
the same.
I also mean that they're probably sleepy too.
True. I guess I got a bit strategic for you.
It's just easier to kill things. So
Finish eating our fried chicken, get a little bit of sleep, then we'll break camp and make our final push to the.
Did he like move off into the hills out there, and now he's standing there looking back, all
No,
majestic, being like, maybe they'll notice me now.
no. He just
So he's
marches
like, "They are
towards the
most
forest.
indecisive motherfuckers I have ever seen in my entire
It's like, I'm gonna go now, and then he just like walks behind a pile of boulders, climbs up on the pile of boulders, gives the heroic stance. Good day.
life.
I feel like people are memeing this guy.
You're memeing this guy out.
Look, if I had to choose between looking at a knight and fried chicken, I'm from the South. Man, I'm going to pick the fried chicken every time. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah.
Quite right.
Yeah, so I think we're going to camp.
All right. Who has a bedroll on their character sheet?
Yo. If you have an
I
explorer's
do.
pack, you have a backpack. You have a bedroll. So
Oh, I do.
Sounds like everybody has a place to sleep, so that'll go well for you. Do
Everybody
you
that does not have one, because Finley and I could probably fit one.
Fuck, I don't have a bedroll.
You know
have
what?
an explorer's pack?
I bought
No,
one
I
from a
have
human.
burglar's pack.
I bought
Uh-huh.
one from a human store, so it's probably big enough to fit both of us. I'm just saying, if you don't mind
All
coming.
right.
Well, one of us
I'll-
has to stay on watch. You know, Arthur.
I'll-
so-
So
I'll cuddle with Argrim.
I will take first watch.
to get a long rest, you need 8 hours of uninterrupted, not necessarily sleeping, but obviously sleeping in this case would be good. Who is on watch and when and how?
I'll take the darkest point of night watch, considering I have the best dark vision out of it. Oh, maybe the tiefling has better dark vision. I don't actually know.
Well, I can take the watch in the morning. I don't necessarily. There's no reason for me to need a long rest. So
Aside from needing sleep as a functioning thing.
but I'm saying like there's no
For healing purposes,
mechanical
well,
game reason
whatever.
that I need a long rest right now because I'm like full everything. So
Okay, so I think me and the tiefling will go probably. So you have 60 feet dive. So you have actual dark vision. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I have actual dark vision too. So me and the tiefling will take the midnight through for whatever cut, and Kane is up. Not Kane. Askren is up first, and
I
we
got
can
60
just go from
foot.
there. Yeah,
60.
so that's what we'll do.
Sorry, I didn't catch that order. Agram's up first, then
Askren, then me, then
Finley?
Daka,
Oh.
then Finley.
Okay, so you're breaking it into 4 watches.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we just lost Finley, but can everybody make a perception check real quick?
Perception.
And then your order
Probably.
was
Roll it for him as well.
Askren, Kelly, Daka, Finley.
Them rolls, boys.
Oh boy!
Uh,
Wow.
Chat talking about specifically sleep deprivation. You've never swung a sword with sleep deprivation before. It would suck. It would suck hard.
How are you on health, by the way? Because I know that you had to do the rest thing, and then we did the whatever the rule was.
So, in the last episode, I let Henley take a limited short rest, but several people came forward with discussions from Chris Perkins, Mike Merrills, and
No, I agree with those. Like
Mike
generally,
Ogle.
it's up to the GM
Yeah.
as to how they want to handle it, because in the book it's written as such that you can.
yeah, I
do it
prefer a
back-
fiction
back to
first
back,
rather than a
but-
mechanical first.
So I'm cool with it being like, if you're if you're taking a short rest, you rest for that amount of time. But if you're taking a long rest, you rest for the long amount of time. You can't do a short rest and a short rest back to back. That makes perfect sense to me. I'm perfectly acceptable for that. So the rule of thumb that generally GMs tend to use when it comes to this sort of short rest shit is that is a combat action, and you can't necessarily do it outside of, like, you can't use second wind outside of combat sort of thing, right? Or like when you're doing, like when initiative's been rolled sort of thing, right? So, but it is a turn action, right? So you can't necessarily use it outside of combat, but it's up to you how you want to do it. I'm happy for that, and I'm happy to use it outside of combat as well. So
Spootnik, a
Yes.
perception check,
okay.
if you would, please.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Where
Huh.
is
Da, 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 da.
where's perception? Skills.
Yep, skills.
Perception.
It's in the time, in the place, in the motion.
Oi.
That's a 9.
Yeah.
you're just like, I can go all night without sleep, and you're just like.
Does he get? I mean, are you going to use my? Well, I guess in my, but you can. I mean, you got that lantern. You can always.
Yeah.
Have it.
Yeah.
It's less about whether he can see and more about whether he wants to use his eyes right now.
Daka.
Mhm.
You find yourself alone around the campsite. Everyone else has disappeared.
Like they were sleeping and now they're not here.
That's correct.
The quiet hum of my snoring fades away.
What do you do?
Do I remember any instances of this happening before?
You do not. You've literally, in the entirety of the time that you've been doing things, you literally never remember these people not being with you. Technically true.
Can I? Is there shit still here?
No,
Because-
only your equipment is around the campfire.
I guess I'll look for footprints or any evidence of other people being here at all.
Okay. You begin to look around, and as you do, you find a figure approaching in the distance, walking up the hill. They're wearing a rough green cloak of some strange texture. But what interests you the most is that their legs are back-canted and they have cloven hooves. As they approach, you can hear that they have a staff that they're tapping against the ground. "Hello there, traveler," it says in a very sibilant Sylvan. "It's been some time since one such as you has arrived."
I suppose so. Have we met? I don't know you.
No, I suppose you wouldn't. No, I don't think we've met before, have we? I wouldn't remember either.
Can I rack my knowledge of see if I can remember anything from
Yeah. What are you trying to learn about or remember?
trying to remember if there's any stories that I remember hearing from the cult. I guess it's religion then?
Yeah, probably. I feel like that's a very good one to roll here.
Because it'd be either religion or
No, religion is definitely the one.
Okay. Let's do it. God damn, nope.
That is a natural 1.
How much do I throw up all up with this person?
You don't throw up at all, but you try to remember and you start seeing double. The figure moves towards you and tosses back its hood, and you see that they have a very short, curly brown hair and 2 curved horns, like a ram, kind of like yours, actually. Are you okay, traveler? You seem troubled.
I tried to remember anything about you our kind at all. Got
Our
dizzy.
kind? Oh, yeah. I don't know that you and I are that much alike, but...
I point to the horns.
That would be like saying that I'm like an elk. Just because we share horns doesn't mean that we are the same. But we are of one faith, are we not? Otherwise you wouldn't be here. It has been almost 1,000 years of our time, so who knows how long for you? Since
1,000.
1,000. Ever since the passing.
I don't know that word. What does that refer to?
It was a time when us Fey folk left the realm of mortals and shuttered ourselves away in
Do I still have
protest.
the book?
You do?
Can I get it out?
Yes. The book specifically references the passing.
I'll flip through.
What tome do you have there?
the nature of Sarkor and their treatment in the passing. None of this is
Sarkor,
familiar
a
to me.
dangerous word. Are you a scholar then?
I know a few things. Sarkor, though, it's like a sneeze at the end of your nose, you know?
Sarkor are not for discussing, especially on a night so close to the full moon. You've wandered into a dangerous place, traveler. You're lucky it was me that found you and not someone more predatory.
Who else
As he
is here?
takes out the duct tape.
There are many Fae.
They're still here? What of the passing?
Where do you think you are?
There was a town called Flemia.
There is no such town. You are in the Fae realm.
What is that? I hear a cat.
A random encounter. I'll deal with it
Roll
as
initiative.
quickly as
For
possible.
initiative.
It's not worth the experience points for a CR 0.
What is your
Throw
name?
in some-
My name? Well, that is a very dangerous question you're asking. Perhaps I can instead give you a moniker, a nom de guerre, a nickname? Would you settle for that? It is dangerous for a planar creature to give their true name, especially to someone they know not. Perhaps instead you might grace me with your true name first, then I would be overly willing to share.
Dangerous for planar creatures to give names. Why exactly?
I would hate to be called.
So you
You should just be blowing up my phone all the time.
Hello, you up?
Jesus, how these. Hello, cat.
Forest,
And
forest creature, who dis?
very well. My name is Daka of the Zilvayans.
Daka. Daka Zilvea. I should tell you, Daka, that it would be foolish for you to ever share your true name when you are not on the material plane. It is lucky indeed that I am the one that found you.
You said that was for my true name.
Did you not agree to give me your true name? Did you just lie to me?
What is a true name?
The name that you have.
Sorry.
The nature of true naming is very difficult.
Daka is the name I was given.
I will give you...
Truth among our people, you know. Elusive sometimes.
I will give you my first part of my true name. Sunderwind.
Is that with the meow or without the meow?
The meow is fictional. It's one of those things you write down on the paper, but you don't say out loud. You know, silent meow.
The meow
Must be-
is silent.
Something that happened in the 1,000 years between me and you, I guess.
Daka,
Mm-hmm.
do you venerate the unnamed mask? I ask only because you are here, after all.
It's been quite some time, it sounds like. Is the mask still around?
The mask is still around.
Then yes.
If you would continue to venerate the mask should follow the old traditions. Do you have any iron about you? A horseshoe?
Explorer's pack. Do I have something of iron in there?
The Explorer's Pack contains the following things. It has a backpack, bedroll, mess kit, which might have it, tinderbox, 10 torches, 10 days of rations, a water skin, and 50 feet of hemming rope.
Hmm.
It would be wise for you in the immediate future to find an iron horseshoe to protect yourself with.
This is a new development. We've never. Iron was not one of the things we held dear in the monastery.
Perhaps. I know not what you were taught, only what my comrades despise. An iron horseshoe, silver, blood milk offered on the new moon's night. If there are any in your realm who still fear the passing of the Fae, speak with them and learn the signs of my passing. It's time.
What's his name again?
Sunderwind. You're waking up. Perhaps we will meet again, Daka of Clan Silver.
Perhaps we will. Sunderwind.
He taps his staff along the ground, and the flames of the fire shoot up. You wake up, and the fire in the camp is also immediately poofing up like that. Kelly, you and Daka are awake as 4 men dressed in hunting leathers begin approaching from the bottom of the hill.
When you say men, do you mean human?
I mean human, yes. Human males.
Okay. What are they using to assist their night travel, if anything?
Right now they're not
Because-
using anything. But
Okay.
you definitely, because you have dark vision, you see that they absolutely have torches at the belt, and one of them has a lantern.
Okay.
But they're essentially stumbling around in the middle of the night.
I'll say to Duck, it's like, wake the others. And then I will take maybe 10 feet steps ahead of the camp, and I will say, you 4 in the dark stumbling around like thieves, stop what you're doing.
You see that they stop, and they're all looking at each other, and they're like whispering, like,
Yeah, I'll be like skulking by him, like tapping Askren and
Finley.
Finley on the shoulders.
Agram, Finley, are either of you wearing medium or heavier armor?
No.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, because that requires time to put on, obviously.
Indeed.
Yeah. No, I have my light leathers on.
I think I'm the only one that wears any sort of heavy gear in this party.
Yeah, mine's light.
Okay. Yeah, you're all waking up around the fire. Daka, you're gathering your friends. Kelly, they're still stopped speaking to each other.
I'm just like, light your torches and come forward slowly.
What's going on?
Unwanted guests.
I'll pull my rapier just to be safe. And actually, I would like to. Can I do a stealth roll to try to?
Oh, you want to disappear into the night?
Yeah.
Yeah, make that check at advantage.
Oh, at advantage.
Yes.
Hell.
Because it's night.
It's night.
Well,
The nighttime is the correct time to be making such a check.
how about natural 20 then?
That's not a natural 20, but it is 20.
Sure it is. Oh no, yeah, you're right. It's 20.
15 plus 5.
It'd have a green rim around
Plus
it.
5.
If it was
Yeah,
a
yeah,
natural.
yeah,
Unless your stealth skill level is 0, in which case, what are you doing as a rogue?
yeah. I got excited. All right, I'm normally terrible at dice rolling. Just ask any of these other guys.
I don't know. You did all right in WAD. I was the bad one in WAD. So
Traveler, do you mind if we come up to your fire? We would rather not light
I
our
mind
torches.
if you light your torches and stop skulking around like you're doing something nefarious for starters.
We're not skulking around. We're just traveling.
You have torches
night.
at your belt, yet you're walking in the dark like
It's
thieves.
dangerous to walk around here with lit torches.
Then why are you walking in the dark?
We're moving. There's
can
good
see that.
hunting about here.
But you can't see it. Light your torches and come forward
So
slowly.
the guy in the front's like, listen, friend, just because
I'm not
we
your
don't have
friend.
dark vision doesn't mean we can't see things. It just means that we can't see very far or very fast.
pick up a rock.
Okay, yeah. I want to remind you, you're standing between the fire and them, so they definitely see you do that.
Are you fucking Andre the Giant from the Princess Bride?
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
I will kill you now.
No, as in like
I won't be very sportsmanlike.
ideally they'll like, we can see perfectly fine, and I was just gonna just throw a rock at one of them to prove that.
I would like
I mean,
to try
again, I want to point out they can see you perfectly fine because you're standing in front of a fire and you're backlit.
I would like to try and use the situation as I guess I've stepped into the role between whatever. All right, can everybody chill. Everybody put the rock down. Let's come forward slowly. Ignore him, which is a very common theme. Just ignore it. Put the rock on the ground. All right. We don't mean, whatever, but we are a little cautious. You guys coming up at night. Just come forward slowly. We won't try anything. Put the rock down. Big guy, put the rock down. Looking up, rock down. It'll be okay. Have some chicken.
All right. They begin slowly climbing up the side of the hill because they're humans and they can barely see anything. They're all wearing cloaks over tunics, hunting
Can I
leather.
slip away before they
You
get
also want to stealth away, Daka?
here? At least to like a flanking position, so if they try anything funny, then
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and make a stealth roll at advantage. Okay, 19. Yeah, you're gone.
Nice.
You disappeared so well that Finley and Daka, the rest of your party, can't see either of you because your passive perceptions can't beat your own scores. You slip out into the night.
I'm still relatively close by, but I just want to be out of sight. So if they try anything, they can get an arrow to the neck.
Okay, so Agram and Kelly, these 4 men finish stumbling up. They all look exhausted. They're like, huh, huh. One of them's like holding a hand to his chest. His hand is tremoring slightly. Okay, travelers. We saw your fire. We just thought we'd come and see what was going on.
I get it. I spent, I've seen some things in my time. Just we're being cautious. He's a little excited. He was on watch. You know how it goes. Have a seat, and you want some chicken? We got fried chicken.
Sounds like we should be offering you some of our food, but yes, thank you. I will take some pride. And like one of the other dudes like slaps his hands like, no, we don't wish to insult you, but we're not going to take your food. I apologize, but we don't know anything about you people.
That is a man who is a man of the world and has seen some stuff. I completely understand. No offense taken.
We're out here on the hunt for Tatzel. And you can tell that the man who said that is like looking over you guys and expecting you to react to that. He's like,
We're not from around here. I have no idea who or what that is. You big guy, you know what that? Do you have any idea?
I don't know.
Ah,
It sounds like some sort of sex thing.
no, Tatzel, the king of boars.
Oh, boar hunting. Do they have like big spears, like anything like that?
Nope.
Like
They're all armed with bows and knives.
you guys might.
And we're not talking like one or two knives. Each of them is strapped with like 6 to 8 knives, and then like hatchets. They kind of look like Finley in terms of armament.
Are they mall ninjas? Like, what is?
all ninjas. If you're hunting boar, you might want to get yourself some big spears. I mean, big ones.
That's not how we
just
operate.
I mean, you do. You do you. Everybody hunts how they hunt. I ain't gonna. If it works for you.
So the 4 of them like start lowering themselves to the ground. 3 of them just kind of collapse, and one of them sits down and like starts doing some stretches.
How long you been tracking this here quarry of yours?
What, 3 days out of Bondarok? And like everybody's like, yeah, about 3 days. I guess it's 4 now. Moon's passing.
I've hunted some show game in my time. No, I get it. It's thrill of the hunt and all that.
We're not those kind of hunters. You're getting the idea that we're all boar spears. We're gonna lure it into a pit trap. When it's down there, we'll just pelt it with arrows.
Hey,
Gravity
whatever
kills
works.
everything.
Hey, whatever works.
Yeah, exactly.
Stupid idea works. It ain't stupid. I get it.
We'll wreck the pelt that way, but we'll bring back the head.
Hey, there's bounty on it. I'm assuming that's what you're after. If you're not going for the pelt.
100 gold, and everybody's like, "I'll be set for life." And one of the other guys is like, "That's right. Once I've got that, I'll be able to get married."
Hey, if that's you do you. That's a lot of gold for a boar.
So it's just the 2 of you? A lot of equipment for the 2 of you.
Yeah, I mean we've been going a long way. We got supplies and all that garbage.
So the 4 of them start giving each other uneasy glances.
Have you rested yet?
Yeah. If you need us to get out of your hair, I guess we could keep moving on. We just wanted to make sure we weren't crossing paths. You know what I mean?
Well, for someone avoiding this fire, you sure found it.
We're
not hunting boar. We got a different thing. We won't be in each other's way. We ain't competing for the same game. If that's what, we good.
Exactly.
We're going that way. You're going that way. We'll be out of your hair. You'll be out of ours. No problem. Take a bite of chicken.
All right. Yeah, they'll start standing up and like cracking their knuckles. They begin slowly moving past all of your campsites southernly, just looking over everybody's stuff that's lying around.
Do they go for any of our stuff, or just?
Sorry, what?
Do they go for any of our stuff?
I mean, nobody's like picking stuff up. They're just, walking awfully slow.
All right.
Looking over what's there, noticing that there's 3 sleeping bags instead of 2.
Y'all must be tired if you're lingering so much.
Just stretching our legs. Come on, boys. We need to get out of here. I'd hate to upset these 2. Two of the hunters are like looking around like, yes, these 2. And then like one of them just like elbows them and points to the 3rd sleeping bag. And then they all begin moving as a group, kind of back to back, cautiously away from your fire.
I'm going to continue to tail them a little bit.
All right.
Just shut up. You have a good one. Good luck with your boar. thing.
All right,
Which
Daka.
direction are they heading in, by the way?
They're heading southerly.
And which direction are we heading in?
Southwesternly to southerly.
Okay.
Daka, as you're tailing them, they get out of what they believe to be earshot of Askren and Kelly, but not you. And you hear them going, ah, shit, I thought that'd be an easy haul for sure. Who knows where that third one is, though? And like, everybody's like, God, we could have just taken so much stuff. Did you see them? They look like they were loaded. They continue...
Humans, man.
They continue this talk where it's pretty clear that they were definitely going to murder Kelly and Askren if they thought they could get away with it.
I'll put a man in the ground for some fried chicken. Like, my fried chicken.
How long do you keep following them, Daka?
Probably like 50 feet. Enough that like it's clear that they're moving on.
Yes, they're moving on. That's when you start Assassin's Creeding them. Predator style. You pop out of the bush with 2 knives and stab one in the neck, drag him out into the bush.
Is there a bale of hay nearby that I can hide in?
No, there's no convenient bale of hay in the middle of
I
untamed
love the idea
lands.
that these guys set up a camp and we're just like, hello.
Yeah. I'm gonna like when it's clear they're gonna leave, I'm gonna stop at like the nearest bush, thaumaturge their fire as low as it could possibly get, like their lamp. And then
No, they're not using any light source.
they're not?
Yeah, they're just
No.
using moonlight to navigate. So yeah,
Yeah.
they're moving at half speed everywhere they go and kind of stumbling their way.
Hmm.
It's almost like they're
Oh god.
thieves in the night. Yeah! Bow, 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 bow.
You
Man,
need
I
that,
know.
you need that on a soundboard just all the time.
I
get the-
if
I
I
get the
didn't
shot.
want yeah,
I'm good.
copyright strikes constantly.
I'll make a legally distinct version.
Excellent.
Just, hey, what is it called? Millimeter engineering? Just enough to slip by.
Yeah. Well then if they're not using any light source, I'm not gonna like thaumaturge them. I'm not gonna like make a big loud noise behind them or anything like that.
Here I had a whole battle map set up and ready to go, and you guys are like, we're not gonna counter jump them. All right, fine.
Look, man, at least we got chicken.
Yeah, at least okay, Leroy Jenkins.
I mean,
Thank you,
I'm
Spoon. Other wild
so
player here.
just so you guys know, I'm at a moment's notice ready to throw down the gauntlet with anybody in this world. But
Yeah.
I'll leave that discretion up to my party when that happens.
Is that what you're
Look.
saying around the campfire as you
Well,
all
if they're leaving us alone, there's no reason to fuck with them. We got a little girl to save.
Yeah. Hey, when it comes time to put boot to ass Henley, I'm gonna unleash you like the fucking Kraken. But you know, we got other problems at the moment. So some bandits, that's somebody else's problem.
Yeah. So when I come back, I'll be like, they were gonna jump us.
I knew it. There's no way you could ever trust a human in the dark.
I
know.
mean, I'm not exactly the best at bluffing either. We got plenty of shit here, but you know, we got other problems. So
The best
start
type, the only human you can trust is the one that illuminates themselves at all times.
You know, humans can be good, but you know, I take a chance. Just assume everybody's an animal, and you'll never be disappointed.
Out of every single race I've ever met, humans are the only one that consistently tell you the opposite of what they actually want.
That's a very good point.
So at this point, Arthur, are the guys pretty much gone?
I mean, they're out of the range of even your guys' dark vision for sure.
All right, so I will unconceal myself and return to the campsite.
Just like my cat unconcealed herself and returned to the studio site.
Finley was just hiding in a backpack the whole time.
That's right. A little
They steal it,
straw
you just
basket.
How far off until dawn are we, by the way, Arthur?
You were just about to start Daka's watch.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Oh, that's
you're
good.
halfway
So-
there.
I'm going back to sleep. It's like,
If those fucking degenerates come back, give me like 10 minutes before you start stabbing them.
Hold them at the line for 10 minutes while I get my armor on.
exactly.
Just
I've got a few tricks. I might
He's
be
like
able to split it.
Gandalf, but instead of having to
Yes.
wait 3 days, you got to wait 10 minutes.
Please digitation to like do like magic trick, pull a coin out from under you, just stalling as he's putting all his shit on. Just
No, humans are cowards. I've got a few tricks to scare them away.
I mean, I've met some good humans. I think maybe.
Humans
Hashtag-
are cowards.
Did you just hashtag not all humans? Wow.
Jesus Christ. Man.
Damn, Spooty. You think you can slip that by me? Nah, son.
I tried.
All right. Kelly,
Yes.
as the watch order gets set back up and Daka takes his place for the night, you find yourself drifting to sleep. As you pass
Do.
into dreams, you begin hearing the sound of drums. At first, just one enormous, like, timpani style drum, and then a second, then
I
like
start jigging, man. I'm into this.
closer
shit.
to like smaller, higher pitched drums, and
Yeah,
dozens eventually, each playing its own distinct rhythm, but all of them in a kind of weirdly rotating harmony that keeps going in and out. And you find yourself on a battlefield where two enormous forces, one composed entirely of humans and another composed entirely of orcs, are running at each other with all kinds of weapons: axes, spears, swords. Not a single shield in sight. Murdering,
Yes.
chopping
A
things
man's
apart.
battle.
The
The
mud.
only shield you need is your skin.
Mud begins forming from all of the blood and all of the churning footwork. And you hear a voice call out to you. It's vaguely feminine, but it has a kind of booming, ethereal quality to it. This is the battlefield. Do you deserve to be in a place such as this?
This is all I've known. I tire of the moments between.
I have never seen you before, and yet I feel you call to me.
I tend to do that sometimes.
Do you serve life, or do you serve death?
Would it be fair to say I serve the moment right up until death? Because that's the moment I enjoy the most.
That is the only answer I accept.
The moments before the life leaves an opponent, that is the life that needs to be cherished the most.
Do you act with honor? And as they say that, all of the orcs and humans suddenly stop fighting and like present their weapons to each other and give a quick bow.
I will honor a man if he honors me.
I honor those who bring honor to themselves. If you would seek power, find me.
Oh, what is your name, Valkyrie?
I am war. And
Is
then the
that,
two
like-
sides begin murdering the shit out of each other again. The savagery continues, perhaps even greater than before.
Mm-hmm.
And your dream passes through the night as around you humans and orcs continue to disembowel each other.
I sort of just like wade through it, I guess, inspecting the battles.
Yeah,
Not
so
really worrying about anyone attacking me for whatever reason.
yeah,
So,
you move through it like in slow motion.
Oh, nice counterbalance there. I like that.
Dawn comes,
Way to use your momentum.
yeah.
and all of you are still alive and not murdered.
Yeah.
Hooray!
So
I figured
I
you'd
wake
like
up
that.
in the morning, I'm like scratching my head. It's like, hey, I turn to I guess Daka, because I've seen him reading a book before. And I was like, Daka, I have a question of great importance for you.
Shoot, my friend.
How do you spell war?
In which language?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what language did you say that in?
Well, what language was the dream in? Was it in Orcish? Was it in Common?
You just simply understood it.
Mm.
Let me ask you this question: what language do you consider to be your first language? Orc or Common?
So, I mean, I know my backstory, but my character doesn't know my backstory. Am I allowed to say it?
Yes.
Okay. So, Kelly was taken from his Orcish home, whatever you want to call it, tribe, when he was very young and put into the army. So he's only known army life. And that army was run by humans in a lot of cases. So Common would be his first language. And he learned Orcish later when he started working with more Orcish in that same army. So yes, Common first.
So like, Doc will move over to the fire, stick his hands in the now like.
I'll
Probably-
like sort of like lean over his shoulder and sort of look down, as he's doing it. And it's
like I'll just like rub his fingers enough, or like grab a piece of charcoal from the fire from last night and
Mhm,
write war on his flat, kind of like a flat stone.
mhm. How do you say the first one?
That's they call it a W.
Hmm. So if I wanted to find this person, where would I go?
Person.
Yes.
War is not a name. War is an action.
See, I don't believe that.
War just told me otherwise.
I'm having a hard time believing that people can be called whatever. So how would I find a person called this?
It's probably a very unique name. So look
You
through
have a
history
book,
books.
like a book or something with the name in it that we can look at. You have some of those around books.
No,
I've seen you have one. Does it have anything about war in it?
would the Diary of the Elven Girl have any war in it?
No, it's mostly just about suppressing humans and treating them like garbage. And also, like first world problems.
Yeah.
Didn't I translate that book for you?
The baklava was dry.
Was there war in the passing? Or did they
No.
not talk about that very much?
They do not talk about that. The passing is mostly kind of esoteric and arcane.
Fading?
It's mostly like an idiomatic fey telling of like, here are some incredibly dangerous objects that we're going to leave behind, and here's how to not use them to kill yourself, humanity.
Then no, both of these books, neither of them talk about war. But when we make it to the next, we make it back to Flemia. Is that the town we were at?
Mhm.
Do I recollect that there was like a book on war?
Yeah, there are several like treaties, biographies of like generals and such are very popular in the book section.
There are books, all the books you could need on war back in Flemia.
So this person's written a lot of books.
No, war is an action, but if there's someone named war,
Mm-hmm.
there may be mention of them in a book about war,
This person was named War, but why would they be in a book about war?
Do you know anyone named Dancing?
I knew an orc water
Oh.
boy whose name was Dancing, but it was in Orcish, so maybe it doesn't count.
I think Daco will just literally walk away.
So you don't know anyone named War?
Not personally, no. I'm sure, like I said before, it's a unique name. If there's a book about it, there's history somewhere. I don't even know how old we are.
I'm 47.
I was there at
With
the
100
conversation.
extra years on top of it.
Yeah, like I was there during that conversation. You were significantly older than any other half orc. I had a bit of a dream as well. Someone told me I was more than 1,000.
I mean, I would believe it. I see your skin color. That makes sense to me.
Racist.
I thought I was only like mid-30s.
I mean, I've seen corpses that go black too, so.
It looks at his like chalky blue skin. Like, okay, then.
It's generally the older ones that go that color, though.
Well, I've never heard of anyone of my kind being 1,000 years old. Not of natural causes or birth.
Oh, what, do you come from a mud puddle as well?
Not a literal mud puddle, but some people call it that, yes.
Okay. I just sort of agree. It's like, yeah.
Dancing is also an action, by the way, not a name.
It can be both.
I mean, dancing would disagree with you. He liked his name. The other humans gave it to him because that's all he used to do. So, I mean, kind of.
Oh, that's a nickname. Maybe War is a nickname. A name you are given by other people. Not your birth given name, but the name that you are known by. Like people we keep
who would
calling
that
you
be?
Killer. We keep calling you Killer when your name is Kelly. Your nickname could be Killer. Understand?
I mean, people call you by your name. So it's either your name or it isn't. So, okay, fine. Whatever helps me find War, the better. Yeah.
Just keep in mind it could be a nickname. If you're talking to a human, they might understand.
I don't know. I generally don't talk to humans. So I don't think it was a human.
Well, most of the books in common are written by humans, and you're going to have to deal with humans to get access to those books.
No, I want you to do the book thing.
Just a lot of slow blinking. Like, we'll talk about this later. We have a girl to rescue.
Yeah. She probably has eggs in her guts.
Maybe.
Like, I don't hold any hope for that. I think she's probably dead.
Speaking of girl to rescue,
There we are. Girl rescuing. Yep.
Okay.
Diagonal wipe.
While we're diagonal wiping, how are you traveling?
Probably the same way we traveled last time, right?
Which was Daka and Askren in the front, Kelly and Finley in the back.
yep.
Okay.
Most
Yeah,
likely.
sure, that works. for me.
I'm gonna need Team Rangers to make survival rolls. I guess one of you can make a advantaged survival roll with the other's help.
Sure. What's your survival at, Askren?
They should be roughly the same, right? Because you're the same level and same class. So
I dumped a lot of my shit into charisma though.
Yeah, I have a total of 6 bonus.
Okay. I'm flat wisdom, so
I know.
I should help you then probably.
yeah, so you roll the wisdom skill check then.
Rolling with advantage.
Damn, what is with these garbage rolls today?
That's two ones this session.
Jesus.
So is it normal roll just for me?
No, in the case of, so the way that it works is one person makes the roll, and if you're helping, the other person gets advantage, which
Yes.
means that only one roll gets done.
So your combined roll is an 11.
Yeah. So the roll was done. So.
Yeah, your travel.
Oh, it's not roll to help someone out.
No,
No.
you take advantage on the roll, so you roll
Oh,
2d20s. Your travel goes not super smoothly. Even though you're only following the edge of the forest, you get spooked several times. You know, boars in the distance. You catch the sign of that hunter pack again. But finally, you all spot around midday black kobolds kind of peeking out in the forest, watching you at a distance. They seem to be squinting hard and running away as quickly as possible when they spot you.
I say we go just right in there.
I mean, it looks like they're scared anyway, so
Yeah.
Not much trouble with us. We're just
I mean, they
bouncing
might
right
not
in.
be. They might not be running away in fear. They might be scouts running back to a report. But
That's
What do
true.
you- what languages do kobolds speak?
Kobold, right?
No.
Gob-
I don't know that you
Orcish.
guys would know that with that an intelligence roll.
I'm not very smart.
I'll make the roll.
Very well.
13.
They definitely speak Common and Draconic.
Sweet.
They speak human.
I speak Draconic.
So we should be able to understand them. Well, I mean, they're running, but I mean, would it be a good idea to follow? Just
Yeah, fuck it. Why not?
Let's track
Sure.
them.
all right.
So you begin running through the forest in order to track the fleeing kobolds?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, at first there's only one kobold. Then a second comes out of the forest at an angle from you and joins that one. 3 kobolds end up fleeing together from you. I'm going to need a perception check from everybody to see if you as a group are capable of tracking them back to their den. Yeah, those are some pretty... you all pass, so you arrive, no problems.
That one
Good
has a
rolls, everybody.
limp. It
Good
must
rolls.
be
Apparently, your
injured.
characters are very good at tracking kobolds through forest.
Wow.
As you are tracking them, it becomes clear that you could easily overtake them. They seem to be stumbling a lot. They're having some trouble running and navigating in the forest.
You know what I say? I yell out loud as we're chasing them. It's like,
Well,
They kind of remind me of humans in the dark, don't they?
So before we like jump in, can I like get the group of us together real quick and be like,
Yeah, you guys are all Naruto running together, you know.
yeah.
Even though you're running at top speed, you can still somehow carry out a conversation.
Yeah.
Tree to tree. You
I
know.
want to
No, not that. I just meant you were running together, and you're definitely not running with your arms behind you, leaping from tree
I
to
cast
tree.
villain.
But what I want to say is that all right, well, you know, if we capture one of them, or not so much capture, but hold him back from running away, we might be able to get a little bit of information from him, right? Ask him about a girl being sacrificed for.
all right. And then
Wow.
Arthur, I use athletics to catch one of these dudes.
There
You
go.
don't even need to use athletics. You just catch up to them very easily.
Oh,
Just
shit.
grab him by the scruff.
You
and
just
be
start.
Terminator.
Oh, sorry. You mean you want to grab
That's
one?
not
Yes,
how
you will
I'm
need to
gonna
make
do
an
it.
athletics roll. Catching up to them is not the problem. Physically getting your hands on them.
Yeah, capture, like grabbing
Okay.
one.
Yeah, make an athletics roll. Yep. So these kobolds are not particularly well armored. I mean, this one's basically just got like clothing, and that's it. A short spear and a knife and a sling, and you just grab him by the sling that's attached to like a collar around, so like it doesn't fall out. You grab him by the collar, The sling like drops out of his equipment pack, and he goes, ah! And his legs go flying. He chokes for a second.
Yeah, I take the knife off his belt, throw it to the ground, grab the spear, just throw it somewhere, and push him up against a tree and be like,
He begins
"Dog,
hissing in Sibilant Draconic at you.
I know you speak human. Talk it.
The rest of the party catches up pretty quickly because it's
Yeah.
not that far.
What I'd like to do, if I could, is maybe use persuasion to get him to spill his guts about the location of a small town girl in a small
All right.
world.
I don't have a problem with you making the persuasion roll. However, you do need to set up a situation where you can make a persuasion roll. Because right now, Dave is cabadoning this guy against a tree.
All right. So what I'll say is, all right, now, I know this big man's quite scary, but I'm much easier to talk to. I'll tell you what.
In the background, you can barely hear yourself over his screeching in Draconic.
All right, just
Question.
if you can, huh?
Who actually can understand him besides me? I speak Draconic.
Well, but they speak Common and Draconic. I think it was.
Okay. He's screeching in Draconic.
Yes, he's intentionally only speaking in Draconic.
Okay.
I will make sure that this big beefy man lets you go as long as you let us know where the sacrifice of the black worm is not only taking place, but is she all right, and where we can find her.
And if you don't do that,
if you don't, well, I'm sorry, but I can't control this big man, and he might.
I will string you up by your genitals and let you hang.
I gotta tell you, Finley, this is starting to sound a lot more like an intimidation roll than.
Is it?
Kelly is literally just like, I will string you up by your genitals.
All right, well, I mean, I can do intimidation. That's
Okay.
fine.
You get advantage from Kelly.
All right. Ready?
Finger guns. Hey,
15.
all right.
All right.
15.
Askren, you've been listening to this guy offer vile oaths about what Kelly's mother does. But eventually he stops and says, fine, in common. Fine. You want to know about what now? A girl, the black worm?
Right, that's right.
I don't know about any girl.
I don't believe you.
I don't care.
Genitals.
Look, if there was a girl, I wouldn't know anything about it, okay? I've been out here scouting for days. You know how hard it is to get by as a kobold?
So where do you take the sacrifices to the black worm?
Whoa. I'm not into sacrifice life, okay? I'm not about that. Look, there are two
Kelly?
types of kobolds. The ones who are dead and the ones who do not do sacrifices.
Kelly,
Yes.
genitals?
Okay, look. If there was going to be a sacrifice, they might be back at our camp. Again, I wouldn't know anything about that. Haven't been back to the camp in a few days. Well, I was heading there until you suddenly grabbed me out of nowhere.
Right, but
I mean, we were chasing you for a while. I don't see how it was so sudden, but
and point us in the direction of the camp.
Sure, I'll take you there. How about that?
That would
cool.
be
I take out
lovely.
my rope, Arthur, bind his hands as tight as it can be.
All right, so you're not going to Wookiee
and hang on
prisoner
to the
him.
other hand. And
You're going to
just
real
sort of-
prisoner him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. You should know, though, these woods are dangerous. I'd appreciate it if you, loosened the ropes up a bit, just in case all of you died. I would like to be able to get away.
Listen, I'm dangerous. So if I die, you're going to be fucked anyway. So consider me your bodyguard.
That's horrible.
Look, as
Whoa.
much as I like to
You sound like a human.
acquiesce to your request, he's not exactly reasonable. I would just just try and do what he says. Take it with a little grain of salt. Just lead us there. If shit hits a fan, we will. We're more than capable of defending ourselves, and I will do my best to give you a fair chance to defend yourself.
Okay.
That sounds about right.
I
And
have
I'll
a
go
question for all of you.
I'll grab his shit and just like, we're taking this with you. So
Good.
don't lose some shit.
Because I would like those back later.
You'll get them back.
What is everyone's passive perception?
Where is it on this sheet? I was trying to find it. Is it
I
on the
have
core
no
stats
idea.
somewhere?
Under skills, I believe it just says it's under the pass column. Would be the blue. Right?
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
11 for me.
Ooh.
14.
12.
14.
Okay, so here's what happens. This kobold is leading you all through the forest. It's a little zigzaggy. It becomes clear to you all that he has a slight vision problem. In much the same way that the humans were stumbling around during the night last night, he's stumbling around during the day. Agram and Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
He passes over something. He stops to tap his foot on it. It becomes clear after it moves slightly for the two of you that he has walked over a weight-limited hidden pit trap, and that his intention is to have Kelly, who's holding onto the ropes, walk over it behind him and fall into the pit and die.
Take a few steps back and
Does
take
he
a shit
not-
on that trap you just walked over.
Does he
for me.
not care about his genitals?
He takes a few steps back and he's just like, trap? What trap?
This one. I take a log and I put it up on my shoulder and I walk over to near him and I go to like aim it and throw it at the ground at his feet. What does he do?
Yeah, he jumps back. As you hit the trap, it implodes downwardly, like the tarp and the netting that was holding it in place all go down to where there's some like weirdly stained spikes jutting up at the bottom of a 15-foot pit.
Huh. Was that always there? Weird.
I've never seen it before in my entire life. I swear, I didn't know that was there.
I come back to him, kind of put my arm around him, and I kind
Stop
of
touching me! You're so weird. You're all like humans. You smell awful.
I stroke his cheek and I say,
Get off of now! Oh, you're
Okay.
disgusting.
Remember your genitals?
What? Hell, I'm a reptile. My genitals are internal.
Oh,
Fine, you're cloaca.
so they'll be that much more painful for my friends.
Stop touching! Oh, you're so weird.
They'll be that much more painful. For
Someone
my
help me!
Oh, for God's sakes!
Oh, not killing you has turned out to be quite a fun experience.
You know what? I think I kind of want to put a gag on him.
How do you make this gag?
He reaches down to the trap pit, pulls up a corpse, right?
There's no corpses down there.
We have plenty of rope, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So you're just
no,
gonna
I-
like put a rope in his snout?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. It doesn't
I'll say-
entirely interfere with his ability to communicate, but now it's more like.
It sounds a lot better. Thank you for
No,
this.
no.
This is really good.
You're only making this more difficult for yourself. So now you got the rope in your mouth. Lead us where you said you'd take us, and your internal genitals and your mouth will be fine.
The innie won't be an outie, is what he's saying.
Is he still flailing around making a scene?
I mean, he's like pointing to the pit, and then he can't separate his hands right because they're tied together.
I would like to backhand him.
Well, yeah. I mean, you do. He. I mean, your size compared to him, you're much larger than him. So he like pirouettes through the air, and then the rope snaps tight, and he snaps back and falls to the ground.
I'm gonna need you to get your shit together. Leading us to camp, or we gonna fuck your shit up.
All right, you guys beat and intimidate a innocent young kobold to death.
Whoa. Nobody said innocent.
You're speaking to the half-orc that grew up in the army
This
about
motherfucker just tried to trap us. I don't give a shit. Mr. Knifesdorf is gone. Look, he had his chance. He fucked it up. I ain't got no more fried chicken. Let's get the shit. We got shit to do.
All right. You travel for a few more minutes. He leads you on. Suddenly, he's in an exact straight line and takes you unerringly towards a hole in the ground, where in tree stands above there are two kobolds with shields and spears that are watching, and one of them calls out and says, "Kuzuzu!" And then begins speaking in Draconic, and. Kazuzu is just like, and they switch back to common and are like, "Who are you to take captive one of our people? That is the great scout, Kazuzu."
This son of a bitch tried to kill us.
He tried to get us to fall into a trap.
He's
It
an
was
asshole.
quite. Listen, we're here to not make problems. We're here to simply talk to some people in your camp.
One of them uses a rope to slide down, and it's clear that this is some tactical shit. Like, he's got the rope tied around his inner thigh, slides down very quickly but controlled, lands and says, "You will wait here. Release Kazuzu, and we will bring an elder to speak with you. Many of our people are away on a hunting mission, but there should remain one whom you can speak with."
We will keep Kazuzu here until
You will
bring him
release
back.
Kazuzu. This is not a negotiation. We have many kobolds here, and if you do not release him, we will bowl over you like a tide of draconic power. The one up in the tree goes, "Draconic power! We do
does
not
he have
negotiate with hostage takers."
Does he have anything like he's a scout, right? So
No, these
can
two
I,
are
like-
guardsmen, so they're
No, I
significant.
mean the Kazuzu, right?
Yes, you've taken everything he owns except his clothing.
Does he have anything personal?
What do you mean by
in his-
personal?
Like, soldiers have like keepsakes and stuff like that.
I
Does
mean,
he have
he's
anything
got,
like that?
like a bag of like food and some light reading material.
Does he have like a nice knife that he really likes, or is he whittling
Yes.
something?
Yeah. No, he has a nice knife.
Okay.
I mean,
take his
for a
knife.
kobold.
I take his knife and I'm just like, "You want this back? You better come back with what you say."
So you're going to release Kazuzu but keep his good knife?
Until he comes back.
Okay, all right. The one that's up in the tree still keeps watch over you as the two other kobolds, Kazuzu and the guardsman, head inside. The one that's up in the tree is like, "You smell that? Take a mud bath every once in a while."
How is the mud baths this side of the forest anyway?
Good. Lots of good
Yeah.
putrefaction. Mushrooms.
Uh,
Very nutritious.
The spawning good this time of year?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I lean into I lean into Askren and I'm just like, "That's how they have babies."
I've got the reading material. I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is how they make babies.
Yeah. Yes, the reading material is exactly what you suspect it is. The last scene we have before the break is a kind of regal looking kobold. He's at least a head taller than the others. Instead of being all black scaled, he's got occasional dots of red as well. And kind of like a deep, almost black level of green, like an imperial green. But what's way more significant is that his eyes are completely red as opposed to normal black. And this kobold is wearing very fine clothing that seems to have been made specifically for them. Silks. It's not like covered in mud or anything like that. It is a little dirty, but well taken care of. And kind of regally, the kobold takes its staff of office and heads towards you and says, "My name is Kuuzazuma. I am the elder who has remained at this nest. Why do you present yourselves before me?" And then, like, he slams his staff down, and there's like a spooky, ghostly 6 like weird flames that are completely black pop up around him.
Neat.
for those of you that have what's the cleric version called? Thaumaturgy? He's using thaumaturgy.
I'm thaumaturging his flames to be as little as possible.
All right, so you're like you're countering his thaumaturgical flames.
Yeah.
All right, so I thought we were going to go out dramatically, but instead we go out at a comedic moment as he looks around and his flames suddenly whoosh out of existence.
Good
I
try.
love the idea that I love the idea that this is just slowly turning into Yu-Gi-Oh. You know, like
What?
Yu-Gi
this is a deck my grandpa made.
My grandfather's deck has no weak cards, Kaiba.
Oh shit!
I like to imagine he tries to do the flames, but because he's countering it, it just does like a fizzle fart, and then
Yeah.
Audience,
Yeah.
thank you for joining us so far. We'll be back in about 8 minutes for the second half of the show. Continue to give us your support by following on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube.
Hell yeah!
Listen to some sick beats while we're gone, or whatever. You know, I don't care.
It's by Dre.